Hey, Dr. Tim Terlep here with another 5 Minutes of Vitality. Thanks for joining us. Last time that we were together, we're working on a discussion of the 5 pillars of health. We all know what a pillar does. It holds things up. It's usually deep and sturdy and very effective at supporting something. And that big something we support with these 5 pillars is our health. The number one being proper neural function. The second one being proper diet. This next one being exercise. The next component being sleep, which actually always makes people always go, really, exercise and sleep? Right? And the last one being autosuggestion or thought. So what we want to do is actually continue with our discussion of neurologic function. Because if the nervous system, which we talked about before as being the highest system in the body, right, actually controls, coordinates, and actually gives energy and vitality to every other system of the body. Remember, the heart beats in relative to what the brain tells it to do. The lungs actually respire, breathing in and out, exchanging gases, etc., based on what the nervous system's control mechanisms are telling it to do. The immune system functions relative to the coordination of the nervous system. So it's the umbrella system over everything. So the nervous system itself sits in the vault here in the head, in the brain, right? And it sits down through the spinal cord and comes all the way down to the upper low back area. Now, back in Biology 101 in high school, we all heard about the central nervous system. That's the brain and the spinal cord. And sometimes it's a little discomforting to think about the spinal cord as being a part of your brain. We don't often think about our brains as being like between our shoulder blades or in our upper backs. It's not something we typically think about, and it's a little weird to realize, but the spinal cord itself literally is these long tracks that come out of part of the brain and run all the way down. Well, energy, thought, these impulses originate in the brain and they'll shoot down through the spinal cord and out to the body. We mentioned the heart. So if the heart, how does the heart know how fast to beat, how much oxygen is needed, how quickly to get the flow of blood to different parts of the body so that it's fueled with oxygen and fed well enough? How does it do that? Well, the messages actually go from the heart itself into the spinal cord, up to the brain. The brain actually registers what's transpiring. It shoots it back down through the spinal cord, through the nerves to get back to the heart. There's this loop, this cycle. And sometimes in neurology, they'll talk about a safety pin cycle, where actually it's from the brain, down the cord, loops back there as it gets out to the body, then loops back up, back to the brain, and it continues this loop. Well, as a safety pin, if you pop it open, it breaks the cycle. So where can we actually get a broken or an open safety pin? Well, the place we see that in that loop that's the weakest place is in the spine. The spine itself actually, because it moves so very much, side to side, forward, back, turning, it twists, and there's these hundreds of little joints that interlock, and we get all kinds of things: sitting too long, bending, lifting, stress, laying in the wrong positions, inactivity, lack of exercise. Wow, there's so many things that can cause those interlocking mechanisms to become abnormal. And those abnormal mechanisms, those lockings, can actually change the way the brain communicates, because it doesn't give enough proper the fancy is sensory input. There's all kinds of really strange nomenclature to describe this, but it doesn't wake it up enough to send the messages back to the brain with enough depth for the brain, the back part of the brain, to register, to disseminate it to the various parts of the brain itself. So what transpires? We get abnormal activity and the brain can't express. And that's what helps the body move from out to the left, back to midline, out to the right, back to midline. So it's always moving towards well-being and balance. So we need to get the nervous system and keep the nervous system in balance so it expresses that innate intelligence, that coordinating ability of the body properly, readily, steadily, without any ups or any downs. It keeps it moving properly so that the body, the heart beats properly, the immune system responds to infection and invaders, the lungs respond to the needs for oxygen, the muscles coordinate and contract properly, the tone is maintained. All those good things that happen are regulated, and we use the word mediated, through neural control. So that's what I, as a chiropractic physician, do, is to help to facilitate at that weak link area in the spine, to coordinate that proper movement pattern so those messages move up and down smoothly, freely, and that power that runs through the nervous system can control and coordinate readily. So that's really the first pillar of health. Next time we're going to get into pillar 2, which is exercise, and I surely appreciate your being here, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks so much.